All right, what's up, guys? Jay's 2 cents here, and look, you guys have been telling me all along, like, Jay, we're so sick of hearing about computer parts and stuff when you can't buy any. Talk about something else. Well, we're going to. We mentioned, well, actually, Phil mentioned on our podcast, the RTFM show. If you guys don't know, it's Fridays at 3 p.m. Pacific. That he's been getting into FPV drones. This isn't all his. He got us all into FPV drones.
This is what it started it all. This stupid thing.
We interrupt this video to bring you a special message from iFixit. No, we interrupt this interruption with this interruption about new stuff from iFixit. Wish you had a new graphics card, but inventory sucks? Fix the inventory problems with iFixit. Whoa, don't drop it. Can't fix that with iFixit. Just kidding, yes you can. Wish you could take iFixit with you anywhere, but your pockets aren't big enough? Introducing the new Moray.
And the new Minnow.
Take them with you anywhere. So get iFixit for your loved ones, or just get them for yourself.
For many of you, you're probably waiting patiently, maybe impatiently at this point, to finish your PC build so that you can start playing PC games, some of you many for the first time. And I got to thinking, you know, wasn't planning on doing a video about this, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. My kids are having fun watching me. I won't let them play with it.
Yet.
Adult toys. So, well, okay, they're toys that adults can use too, basically. So here's the deal. We're gonna kind of walk you through how we've been spending some of our spare time. And maybe this is something you guys can consider doing to get yourself outside in the sun and healthy while waiting for your unhealthy habits like sitting at a computer all day. So what we've got right here are an assortment of things. Yours right there, which is much more dirty and crashed and stuff.
Oh yeah, this thing has been through a lot. It's literally been submerged underwater on accident. So anyway, this is a Tiny Hawk 1. As you can see, it's a tiny little drone. Definitely indoors, it's freaking awesome because it's got the nice little prop guards. If you bounce off stuff, you're not chopping them up.
It's a pusher.
Yeah, it's a pusher prop, so...
Which means if you crash, the props don't go pew, fly off.
They just go... Unless you crash like this, which, you know...
Which I've done already. We've experienced,
I think all of us have.
But you know what's kind of funny is the fact that at our old studio, I had gotten one of those cheap little Amazon, like it was shaped like an F-22 or whatever, and it was like push a button, and it was like, woo, do a little flip and stuff. To me, this is like the same size as that.
Yep.
This is mine right here, which is the version 2 of that one, right?
Tiny Hawk 2.
Which... I was like, this is just a toy. The more I fly it, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is more than just a toy.
It's legit. Like I like to say aircraft when I mention them because it is actually a lot more like a real radio controlled aircraft than, you know, one of those toy drones.
This is where like the microelectronics inside of it are just really impressive. The ESC, the receiver, it has video transmission. This is FPV, which stands for first person view, which has a headset you put on and you literally are flying it from the POV of the camera, which makes it a lot more interesting for me anyway, because I've flown rotor wing and fixed wing RC aircraft, all LOS or line of sight, obviously, which is a huge learning curve for anyone.
I learned on helicopters as well, just line of sight. And so going into FPV, I was like, oh, I'm inside the drone now. This is new.
Well, which also means when you're looking line of sight, you can see like, oh, I'm near this object behind it. But when you're in there, you don't necessarily know what
you can only see where you're looking forward.
So let's talk about the starter kit though. So the starter kit basically is the little tiny little screwdriver, which I love so much. Replacement connector, because you're probably gonna rip it off at some point. The bands that hold the battery in, extra screws, the FPV headset itself, the power pack for the headset, the charger, which will charge both 1S and 2S, 2 at a time.
Which stands for a 1-cell and 2-cell battery.
Right. The 2-cell though, this is like advanced mode. I mean,
it's a little bit more powerful.
Everything is like twice as twitchy and like 4 times as fast, it feels like with that. And then you get a 450 milliamp battery with it, which is a 1S. So that's what you get. You get the case with it, and then that's pretty much it. And so it can get you up and running. I'll put a link down in the description below. This is not sponsored. I paid for this, but I overpaid a little bit because it was on Amazon, available for like prime shipping next day, and I paid $184 for it. And I think, Nick, what'd you pay for yours on the?
I paid about $185, but prices have gone up because those are like more in demand now.
You're right, because I got my Tiny Hawk kit, which is basically the same kit except with the Tiny Hawk 1. I got it for $165 on Amazon as well.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you guys are watching this video at this point right now and you've been considering it, maybe pause the video, go to the link down below. It is an affiliate link, so it does help the channel. But if they're available, you can at least see what the current pricing is. I hate the fact that we talk about things on this channel sometimes and it creates a price increase because demand goes up. But I mean, I want to share what it is that we're doing.
Yeah, and for under $200, it's such an insanely cheap thing to me because I mean, both of us have been in RC for forever, right? Like, we
But
remember,
the problem with like RC, like helicopters and stuff, is even if the rotors fold, when they're at full speed and you hit something, you're gonna break a rotor.
Yeah, your linkages don't fold, your swash plate doesn't fold, your tail motor doesn't fold.
So then I started going from the plastic stuff to the carbon stuff, which all that does is move the weak point somewhere else, and you start breaking the hub.
Or your frame.
Or the frame. And I had all carbon fiber frames and stuff. And then you get the little training wheels for the landings and stuff.
Or you strip a gear motor,
which
or
is
the main
common.
Gear.
Yeah, or servos start to wear out. The thing is, like, that was a $1,000 helicopter.
Jeez.
And I'm having more fun with this $180 kit. But like anything else that's RC, it is expandable and you can upgrade things. So one of the first things I did was I bought a whole bunch of these 1S LiPos. In fact, I got 4 packs. So these are the extra batteries I got right there. They're 650 milliamp versus 450, so longer flight time. And your flight time obviously is going to depend on how much you flail on the throttle, honestly. More level, smooth flight. I've got like 5 minutes out of one.
That's pretty impressive.
Even you were commenting.
Yeah.
When I'm like playing around now, doing quick turns and stuff, I'm getting like 2.5, 3 minutes. Then I got this Venom Charger, which is kind of nice because one, it comes with the adapter to be able to plug it into a car battery, not a cigarette lighter, but alligator clamps on a car battery. So you can charge out in the field. That way you can keep batteries always on the charger while you're flying. And then, I got this additional headset right here. So this is the
Yashin EV800D.
The reason why I got a different headset, there's nothing really inherently wrong with this one here. I am extremely farsighted. Putting this on my face, and even with extending the screen out as far as possible, it's blurry for me because my vision cannot focus that near. So I got this particular headset based on Phil's recommendation because of the way that the screen is.
If you look, it's a little farther away.
It's a little farther away. It feels like it's a little bit better clarity to me because this is like extremely over sharpened.
Yeah. Yeah, this screen, and there's no adjustments for the screen, whereas these ones you can change the aspect ratio. You can actually, if you notice in the menu, there's like brightness, contrast, sharpness. You have actually all the controls that you wanted to customize your vision through the headset, which is pretty nice.
The other thing is the improved antennas. No, it's important because if you're flying FPV and your signal's all staticky, you're cutting out. That doesn't do you any good if you're trying to fly. Or if somebody turns on their drone on the same channel, all of a sudden you're flying and then you see their hand in their face because it suddenly picked up your video feed. Nick?
I wonder what that looks like. Oh, that's exactly what that looks like.
But the other thing with this one here is that it has a built-in DVR.
Yeah.
Because that's the other fun thing is being able to record your footage. Like when I nearly smashed the rafters and ended up like doing a Death Star run on accident in our studio. I wonder what that looks like.
I think that's the biggest downside to the Tiny Hawk kit, really, is that the fact that this doesn't have a DVR. Because, I mean, what good is flying in the goggles if you can't share with what it looks like with other people?
If you don't want to use the goggles, and it has a, quarter 20, right?
Yeah, a little quarter 20.
The quarter 20 mount in the bottom, you could just fly it like that and be able to see it, without just having the monitor on. You look like a minion.
Banana!
Controllers are another thing you can update. This is the one that comes with it. The problem you found is that like Nick's
the QC on the
yeah, like Nick's turns right better than it turns left.
Turns left better, it turns right.
It doesn't turn equally. That's a problem. And then you upgraded to this one here, which was what?
$40. $40. So this is the Beta FPV Light Radio 2 SE. This is a nice little upgrade from the Emax one because as you can see, it has proper RC style gimbals. You got a little nice control stick, so that way when you're running
the antenna is
thumbs,
also fully internal.
Yeah, it's internal. I don't think it gets as good range, but it's nice and compact. And then that way you can fly with thumbs or you can fly pinching, whichever your style is. Jay likes thumbs.
I never flew like this with regular RC controllers, even with planes. I always just flew thumbs. And of course, the old school guys were always like, how can you fly like that? And then let's talk about your goggles real quick, and then we'll show you guys the obstacle course we came up with in the studio. We'll do some
racetrack?
Or racetrack. It's an obstacle course for me.
These are the goggles I ended up upgrading with, or upgrading to. They are Fat Shark Dominator HD2s, which I got used for around $200. which is
Yeah, the
an
accessories
insane
can-
deal.
Yeah, I want them, and they're like 400 new.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the newer ones, I think they're the Attitude V6 or something. They're like $400 or so.
Like anything else, though, guys, the accessories can usually very quickly outprice the actual thing it is that you're flying. But remember, this is the stuff you're interacting with, which is more important in comfort and reliability.
And you don't crash these.
No.
So these don't break that often unless you, I don't know, you fall on your face. One, they're super compact, as you can tell, and they have VR-style dual lenses where it projects the image out really far. So when
Which is why I want those.
Quick mention, all of these are compatible with everything because
Yeah.
analog video is just, it's been standardized, it's been, a standard
And if
forever.
I'm flying and he wants to see, he just puts on his goggles, goes to my channel, and he's watching.
And a good thing about upgrading your goggles is that you still have the kit goggles for
Right.
passengers or anybody else that wants to watch.
Right, so my daughter puts these on and watches while I'm flying around the house, accidentally smacking my wife in the head while she's doing dishes at full speed. And now this is Phil's actual acrobatic drone, but there's no prop guards. This is designed for somebody that's beyond the beginner level. It's much faster, and it's a
It's
bit...
definitely an outdoor drone. You
Yes.
don't really want to fly that indoors.
You don't want to be buzzing this into the wall and stuff.
Or people.
I think now we need to show them the course or the track, and then what we'll do is we'll have a little time trial right now.
Yeah.
So here's the rules apparently. It's about being able to complete the course and still fly. If you crash and you can't upright or turtle or whatever to come back, then you're done. So I was like, well, Phil, you're obviously going to win. He's like, I don't know. He's like, I could crash, and Nick and I could then just like tiptoe through the track, and then whoever has the better time wins.
Yeah,
So-
rabbit versus turtle or whatever. Turtle, hare, whatever
I think
that
this is
paramore
more like-
First of the hair. Yeah.
This is just turtle versus slightly faster turtle.
Yeah.
So this is the start finish line. As soon as you cross it, the timer starts. So someone will be here with a stopwatch. You have to make a quick 180 to come back up through a long gate, which eventually will have LEDs and stuff in here. This is just a box from my wife's yoga mat that I was like, oh, let me have that. So you've got to make a
RC guide.
you got to make a 180, increase altitude, fly through here, and I've got our hive light shining right down it, which once you point a camera at it, like point the camera at it, that one will probably handle it better. But as soon as you point a camera at it, that starts to screw with your optics going through there. So I'm trying to make it easier for Phil to crash. And from here, you've got a 180 and then climb again through the big gate, which shouldn't be too hard because it's big, but I say that. Wow, there are so many innuendos in this video. Anyway, 180 and climb through this gate. You're gonna come around the table over here, through this gate, which is smaller. You've got to come over here and choose to either cut the light or go around the light. Sweep her around the table. So this is also where you start to pick up speed again, and this is all about control, because if you're turning, typically while you're turning, you start to lose altitude. So you have to turn and apply throttle to maintain your height, just like you would any other sort of aircraft. I found that Nick and I tend to really climb in those situations, so I put this here.
So that's the Jay and Nick obstacle, really.
So we've got to make this turn and control our altitude to go underneath here, not smack the pole. We have to then do a 180 around the tripod and back through the gate. That's the track.
Welcome to Jay Walla. Jay Walla Raceway. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. If you guys can't tell that we all work together, rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I'm not gonna go back to scissors. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Wait, we all lost and
Oh,
won.
wait. Yeah, what happened?
This is Phil's first run, nothing happened.
That light is crazy.
He's such a show off. 15.03.
Slow and smooth as fast. Let's go. There you go. Oh God, the light. Just fly towards the light.
Hey, he made it out.
Go on. Oh, you gotta go back. You didn't get that hit. Slower. Just go lower. Yeah. Still up. Nice. One more turn through the gate. I'm counting it. 51 seconds. Oh wow, you literally.
It's wedged in there.
don't know. Nick's got more flight time than me, but I think Nick's less of a risk taker.
This is why we made it a skills race.
Start the timer, dude.
There you go.
No, the table. Woo! Oh, got a table.
Oh no.
You're still flying.
You're still up. You're still up. You gotta keep going.
That's part of the challenge. Oh.
See where I'm going anymore.
Oh no. Wait.
Oh god. Keep the timer going.
Yeah, keep the timer going.
Unless you can do this in 7 seconds,
cool.
you lose.
You're good. Alright, cool.
Okay, I beat Nick.
What's that, 51 seconds?
God.
Oh my god. Oh no, top left.
This is so hot! Nick doesn't deal with pressure. Why do you look right?
Cases, watch out. No, that's wall.
It's right there. Just go forward.
Oh, need 6 man. Oh.
R.I.P. Nick.
All right, so you can obviously have fun if you have your own warehouse. No, you can set this up in your living room. I was flying laps around my living room and accident, like I said, smacked right into my wife's head while she was doing the dishes. Or you can go into a park that allows it and do some open air acrobatics like flips and stuff without obstacles. So fortunately, we live in a city where we don't have an anti-RC ordinance. So that's where we're gonna go next. All right, so now we're going to talk about some of the things to keep in mind when you're at your park or whatever flying, where it's legal.
So rule number 1, and it's not just a rule. Okay, rule number 2 is don't hit people with them. Rule number 1 is, and it's not just the rule, this is the law. You have to have a spotter.
That's an FAA law.
Yeah, it's an
FAA law.
FAA law. An FAA law. Like, you can't fly the aircraft outside of line of sight, which means if you're flying through the drone, you need to have somebody else that has line of sight.
Because you are not watching the drone from line of sight.
And you're not watching, obstacles, people you might hit, etc., etc. Rule
Like
number 2.
we started this clip and somebody came walking by and we had to stop it because of it.
Yep. And rule number 2, don't ever fly at or over or like above or around people, because you never know when this thing is going to turn into a brick.
Right. So I'm not going to show them right now, but there's people over there at that gazebo area we were flying. So clearly we're going to stay clear of that area.
Exactly. Like, any number of things could happen. A motor wire could pop off, the battery could come unplugged, and this just turns into a brick with little spinny plastic blades.
Let's not forget what happened at the Winter Olympics one year.
Exactly. And that's not a small drone like these guys. And this is a lot more safe than this, especially because of the exposed props. Besides that, just go out there and have fun, but just make sure you got somebody watching where the drone is and where there's people around you, and to just don't do it. Don't fly at people. Don't fly over people.
Okay, so I've never actually tried doing any sort of acrobats like flips or anything, and I'm gonna be trying that for the first time today. Also, too, if you're like, oh my God, they're outside not wearing masks, we are completely by ourselves in this park, and we're in each other's social bubbles, but we have our masks in case people come by. So stop flipping out. All right, here we go. So you said I don't have to give it throttle for the flip, just the directional change,
So
right?
give it some throttle to toss it in the air, and
Okay.
then cut throttle, and then do the flip, and then catch it with the throttle.
Think of flipping the throttle like an ollie, like to initiate your trick.
Yep.
I don't skateboard. Look at me.
Never mind.
You just bring it back here, cut it all the way over there. Nice!
I just needed all
Yeah!
kinds of altitude to do it.
Nice! There you go. You're making them a lot tighter too.
I'm coming back because it's yelling at me about the battery.
Yeah.
Actually, having to fight the wind. Oh God! Oh.
You sure do. See, and that's the difference between a video game and a real drone, is you're flying a real aircraft and dealing with real wind.
Oh, that's not
Counts! So Jay's gonna try 2S. So 2 cells on its battery, double the voltage.
but less than half the actual milliamps. Okay, since you guys saw it took basically the size of this entire park for me to just do a little zzz, zzz, and I'm landing and hitting the ground
But
still.
you did do it. I'm actually here, high five, because that
I was shocked though that I was like coming out of the flip and was like losing that much altitude.
Because you're landing straight down into your prop wash, which is a thing that you.
I guess
it's not a video game; it's a physical object.
I guess
right?
I have to learn like when to apply the throttle. So what Phil's gonna do now is show us with his Tiny Hawk, how much you can actually do with this in a nice open area like this. And he's gone. And he's back. Now we'll talk about its durability. Did you just hit yourself?
Yeah, I totally did hit myself. Nice, there you go.
All right, if you guys want to see the freestyle drone, we'll let Phil demonstrate that one next.
Nick has to do the walk of shame.
Speaking of which, those new t-shirt designs though coming out soon.
Yeah, look at that.
Size matters on a thick boy.
It's not about how tiny your hawk is, it's about how you fly it. This is a really nerdy hobby, and I love it. Look at these guys. Oh! Turn right! That's a landing, I guess.
So as you can see, we were having a lot of fun, a lot of walks of shame. And I mean, it was a little bit breezy today. I live in a windy area, but I can tell you right now, as somebody that comes from an RC background and is usually, I like fixed wing RC, but those usually you crash once and you're done. And we were bouncing this thing all off each other and the ground and
upside down, right side up.
that was my first time trying any sort of tricks, and it was just funny to be like, yeah. So the 2S could clearly handle it, but I need a higher capacity 2S and more flight time, I think, before I really start fooling around 2S.
Yeah.
But I think I had more fun, honestly, indoors with our track that we made.
That's still my favorite thing about this.
See, durable.
Exactly, durable. Like this tiny whoop-ish sized drones. Tiny whoops are a little bit smaller than this, but I love that class because yeah, it's durable, it's tiny. It hits somebody, it'll sting.
You
but
can easily fix parts on it. The motors just unplug and unscrew with 3 screws.
yeah, the worst is your props, ejecto props, cuz.
They're not expensive. However, like Nick and Phil both said at the start of this video, the pricing is starting to go up because demand is going up. So if you're interested in these, like I said, I'll put a link down below. Again, not a sponsor. This was just you guys wanted me to make a video that wasn't PC stuff, so now I expect you guys to watch it and like it.
Sorry,
otherwise
it's
we're
my
gonna
fault.
talk about GPUs all month. So, with that said, we're gonna get out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like to fly FPV, what drone are you using, what kit, what radio, and all that stuff, just put it down below. Gives us all things and ideas to spend and waste money on.
Waste more money on, yeah.
It brings us enjoyment, it's not waste.
Yeah, there's always upgrades, right?
Upgrades.
Just don't tell the wife.
She expects it. What are you talking about? All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.